Hi, for those that don't know my name is Yamour, and today I'm actually making a video about something that has been on my mind for the past few years, and only because I still receive a lot of messages. I receive a lot of DMs through anonymous profiles where people are really wanting to know about my medical experience. That's with the cancer I had. And a lot of people still message me till today, so I just want to put out there some frequently asked questions with my friend,
which I will be asking. And my name is Berry. Yamour just blabbed on. She didn't give me a chance to introduce myself, but anyway, I have all the questions I will be asking. Would you like me to get straight into it?
Yeah, we can get straight into it.
Okay, first question, how were you diagnosed?
So the main flare-up was when I fainted at a circumcision party, and basically I lost complete vision for a few minutes, and then I reached out for my sister, who was sitting on the table literally in front of me, and I said to her, I can't see. So she led me outside of the hall, and in the hallway I literally fainted, and they called the ambulance, obviously, and then I was literally in hospital for the whole night until the next morning, and they did a CT scan and a whole body scan and stuff, and at 5 a.m. in the morning a nurse woke me up and said to me, "Hi, we think you may have brain tumour." So that was the initial 5 a.m. Yep, 5 a.m. I was woken up by a nurse, not even a doctor, and she actually said that I had brain tumour.
It's quite rude.
I know. And then I was further investigated through my whole body. They did biopsies and stuff, and then a month later my results just showed that I had Non-Hodgkins lymphoma, 4th stage with CNS involvement. CNS involvement is my brain, so yeah, it was in my brain as well, so it had spread quite far out. So yeah, that's the first question answered.
Second, what symptoms did you experience?
I was misdiagnosed a few times because I wasn't able to identify fully my symptoms. I just knew I wasn't feeling well, so I informed my doctors I had bloatedness, and I had a lot of confusion. I've suffered from a vision loss before when I was on a flight from New York to London, and I thought it was just due to cabin pressure and stuff, but clearly not. And then I used to have a lot of night sweats, which I didn't understand where it was coming from. I used to have very long hair, so I thought, oh, it's just my hair. It wasn't from that as well, so it was all quite related to the cancer itself. Like I said, I had a lot of confusion and memory loss as well, which was quite scary at the time, but I just thought I was just overworking myself, but it wasn't that. It was the cancer itself. So night sweats, bloatedness, memory loss, confusion, and constant lethargy and fatigue, constant.
Okay. Third question, what was your initial reaction?
So I think my initial reaction was we say the phrase I felt like someone threw hot boiling water all over me. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I had this ugly feeling like my stomach was churning, and I just felt I had these butterflies, the ugly ones in my stomach, and I just felt so sick, and I was no, this couldn't be me, that's it, I'm dying. I just thought, that's it, I'm dying. It's fast spread, it's in my brain, it's in my whole body, it's in my leg, my armpits, my everywhere, how? And I was yeah, that's it, I think I'm dying. And throughout the time between the hospital visits and home, I just felt very hollow. I just felt very, very hollow, and I was just it didn't feel like it was my journey. I felt like someone else took a page out of my book, and now they're running that. It wasn't me. This wasn't me. I felt it's a very like weird feeling, because cancer is very related to death, and I think that's what it is. Like when you see like adverts, or when you see like a lot of like things about like cancer, it's always like bald hair, like very sick person, and you know, terminally ill people. So for me it just felt like so horrible, but like I knew I had to find the best hospital with the best doctor, and that's when I found my doctor, which is Dr. McNamara at UCLH. Yep.
Fourth question. How did you deal with this situation?
So I was very much thrown into like the deep end. Like I didn't really have time to sit there and think like.
So you were told you have like stage 4 and
Yeah.
you were
And it was like I didn't really have time to actually absorb the whole thing and be like, okay, so this is what I want to do, okay, this is the research I found, or you know, I didn't have options like to sit down and think about like chemotherapy, and that was it for me, because it was either that or either was I was actually gonna die. And so I just think like, just generally I'm a very positive person, so like although I cried like day in day out, I just tried to keep like my thoughts quite like positive. It's very difficult, don't get me wrong, it's such a difficult thing to do, to think to yourself like, oh shit, like I could possibly like not be in a great state, or I could be quite ill from this, but I just tried to keep very positive, and I just kept praying, and I think that's what really helped me like mentally. I think just like my belief in like God and my faith, that's what really kept me going, because mentally I just kept praying and just kept thinking like, God, like I'm your child and please like save me. And I think that's what's really been helping me, or helped me at the time.
What was your support network like?
So hands up, like I can't really fault my friends or family. Like I think everyone has really been there for me. I was quite lucky, and I'd never forget one thing. Like my friend, she prepared like a banner and it wrote, "We love you, Yamour." And like thanks to a lot of them, like you all came outside the hospital, didn't you, with like the banner and balloons and stuff.
Yeah.
Loads of balloons, because I love balloons. I absolutely adore balloons. And it was so cute, because I was upstairs in the ward and I was told like to come downstairs for like a walk, and I came outside and I had like my mask on, and I just felt so like down and so ill, and I looked outside and all I can see is everyone, like all my family and friends, and I was so shocked. There was at least like 35 people.
Yeah, there was quite a
35, 40
lot
people
of
outside of my hospital, and like everyone was there, and it was just so cute. It was so cute. And then after like saying we love you and stuff, like they let the balloons go. Yeah, it was so cute. Like all of my friends have been so supportive, like given so much support, and so is like my family and stuff. And one of my friends especially, she was so sweet. She used to wake up at like 7 a.m. and like come to the hospital and like sleep and let my mum go home. Like they used to take turns. It was really sweet. Like honestly, everyone was, I think they were all amazing. I just feel like I wasn't in the right mind to actually at the time appreciate anything. I used to tell everyone to go fuck off, and it's the reality.
It's understandable.
People used to call me, I used to ignore their phone calls. I used to say, don't let no one in. But it's just the way you're feeling, and you can't help but feel that way. You don't want anyone to see you the way you are. Like, I was so ill. I didn't look like this. I looked very ill. You know, it was quite difficult to allow people to come in to see you so vulnerable. I think that was my problem.
What advice would you give to someone mirroring your experience?
So firstly, what I'd like to say is please listen to your body, okay? So if you feel like something is not right, please go on top of it.
Think about it,
Yeah. Do something about it, because there's been many times I've had, previously to actually being fully diagnosed, I've actually had an endoscopy and a colonoscopy 4 months before being admitted to the hospital, because I was not well. I was seriously unwell. For everyone who knew me during that period, like my cousin used to be like, why are you constantly sleeping? Why are you always not wanting to work? Like, why have you suddenly become so like lazy and stuff? Because that's not me. Anyone who knows me, like, I used to study psychology, I used to work at O2 part-time, and I used to be a private tutor for autistic adults, and I used to help out at a coffee shop. So I used to be quite active, and I was going gym every day and still socializing, so I was always up and running. So when this happened, I just thought, like, maybe I'm just overworking my body and stuff. So I started thinking maybe it's due to lifestyle. But like, when memory loss came forward and when I felt all that, I knew something was up and running. But because I wasn't the doctor to diagnose me, my doctors didn't think that at the age of 20, 21, I would be having cancer. So they never actually looked into it. My stomach bloatedness, like, they always used to blame it on IBS, and it wasn't IBS. I was constipated for days on end, and like, it was quite, I think it was a build-up of symptoms, but it just kept like gradually becoming worse. So if you feel anything gradually becoming worse, please make sure to actually go to your doctors and tell them, I am not feeling well, I want to be checked out, and I want, you know, bloods and baby scans and stuff, whatever it is, but don't be a hypochondriac. And I feel like feelings of like sadness, anger, like confusion, hopelessness, these are all like inevitable feelings, especially with a cancer diagnosis. Like, I remember feeling all of those. I remember like waking up in my bed and just like still wanting to go back to sleep. Like, I just felt like this was all a horrible dream, and like I just needed to sleep and it was all going to be okay. Like, it was so traumatic, especially being an inpatient for 6 months. Like, even like times when like I used to wake up in the hospital, I used to just be like, I want to go home. There were times where I actually ran away from hospital just to come and sleep in my own bed for a few hours, because it was quite, I think it was a very intense experience, having like the nurses take your obs every like 3-4 hours, not allowing you to sleep properly, and just seeing everyone cry and hearing all that from like the other patients, and like just a lot of things that I actually experienced that left me quite kind of scarred, along with my own experience. But I just remembered one thing, that pain is inevitable, and pain is actually temporary with anything. So just to know that actually like this pain will like one day go, and I'm a live example of like a past traumatic experience going well, and you actually can get through a lot of things. Like, the way I used to distract myself was like doing colouring in and stuff, because it just let you focus on one thing when you're colouring in. And if I felt really down, I would start writing. So I'll write down my thoughts and feelings, and like my belief in God and praying was the thing that actually just kept me going. And during that time I did start like a more healthier lifestyle. So that healthier lifestyle like consisted of like having like raw ginger and garlic every day. Every day I was having ginger and garlic, guys. I didn't care about my breath stinking. I didn't care that these doctors can smell my ugly breath. I was just like, I'm joking.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. But I did adopt quite a healthy lifestyle. No meat, no like milk, no like dairy products and like cheese, none of that. And I was having quite a lot of like my mum's infused like herbal teas, and like a lot of fruits and vegetables and everything, like mainly everything home cooked. Like the hospital foods, I mean, I would eat occasionally, but my mum would always go home, make food, and I would be eating those. It's like a war zone in your body, and you actually need to fuel your body with the correct like ingredients, you know. You need to fuel it properly for it to actually be able to survive and, you know, stop whatever's going in, or just help support it. But yeah, they're just like the few questions that I wanted to really address, because these are the main questions that I'm always asked. There are quite a few as well, but this is my first video and I just wanted to keep it quite short and simple. I hope like this has been of help to anybody, and if you have any questions for me regarding yourselves or anyone else around you that you are quite worried about, I am open to answering any questions. And I feel really glad that I am able to help a lot of you, but I I think I feel really upset to know that some of you actually have to create like anonymous profiles to get through to me. There's no judgment out here, and I know how difficult it is for you to feel like, shit, I don't want no one to know that I've had cancer and stuff, but this isn't a label, this isn't a stigma to you. It's just an experience, and it's gonna be a very, hopefully, like, short one. Like, please don't feel like you have to hide yourselves away. Like, we don't need to. It's fine. You're gonna be okay, hopefully, at the end of it. So we've come to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Berry.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Guys, do not hesitate to just drop a DM whenever. She is very kind and she would answer any additional questions.
I really would, guys. So,
peace out.